Cotman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cotman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Woohoo! What up, my peoples? What is going on?
It's
What's
good,
up,
man. Everything's great.
Hey, chilling?
How you feeling? You all right?
Yeah, a
man?
little sore.
Our man here got into a car accident the other day.
Yeah,
So
yesterday.
he's a little sore.
Yeah, yesterday. A lot
He's
of
hurting.
sore. Still fucking
got
hurts,
T-bone, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just sore all over. But it's
Yeah.
all good. Doc said that I'm Kenny healthy, so that means I'm
All right.
still fucked up when I'm supposed to be fucked up. So it's all great.
I expect better from you on your driving record, bro.
Yeah. Exactly. No shit. But yeah, so today we have a nifty-ass guest.
My friend Chris, known
Hello,
for a
everybody.
few years, right?
Couple. That's been, 15?
Yeah, at least,
Something like that.
right? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long
Cool.
time.
Long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's freaking awesome.
A long
yeah,
time.
Cool, yeah.
that's cool. And sure,
I got
Tom,
the-
how you feeling today?
Good. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you're
You
good.
good?
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
excellent. So tonight's topic is fear. So we're gonna see what fear is all about, and see who fears what,
And
just
why they
talking
fear
shit,
it.
and why they fear
Yeah.
it. Yep.
And when do we stop fearing?
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So,
So-
dig it. So the dictionary.com. Okay, sorry, the accident, bro. I'm still fucking hurting.
Use your
So
words.
fear, an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. So now that's what it is. So a fear is just worried about something that's gonna happen to you. Could happen to you bad
Right.
or whatever,
Something-
because you never know.
Right.
But I think fear is something that is kind of like in us for a reason. Like if you're like get close to a cliff, you're afraid of falling. So it's
So
like
make
for
sure you don't get too
self-preservation.
close.
Your body's
Right.
telling you like get the fuck away from
Right.
this cliff because
Right,
you're gonna
right.
go. Pew!
Yeah, exactly.
Evolutionary trait.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
So,
Yeah,
like
Absolutely.
fear,
yeah. Because I didn't even think about how old. You just said that how
Yeah,
old you would
that's
be.
what- my thing is that, well, I know this from infants, babies.
Yeah.
Don't have fear.
Yeah.
If you notice, a baby will just go. He don't care. He's not thinking about anything. He has no idea what's going to happen
Yeah.
if he goes to that situation.
Right.
So he's automatically, he just loving life and he's doing whatever, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and as
They
we
don't
get
know
up,
any better.
right, exactly.
Exactly.
Until
So he
eventually,
bumps his head in a couple of times and
Yeah.
Right.
it is. Like you.
you get scared. I remember the first time I figured out I was afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And I used to jump off the boardwalk in Coney Island when
Right.
the sand was all the way at the bottom.
Right,
Remember
right,
They
when it
had
was low.
staircases going
Right.
down to the sand, right? I used to jump right off that fucking.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived in Coney Island. My cousins lived in Coney Island. I was in Maryland. I was about maybe 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get on top of the roof of a gazebo
Right.
in a park. And I got up there and I couldn't get down. I just locked up.
Yeah.
And I was like totally terrified. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I
Right.
was stuck up there for like a good hour and a half at least.
No shit.
Yeah.
Nobody
And my
could-
friend was at the bottom and she's trying to like,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, you'll be fine. Just put your foot on the branch, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But once you do it and you
Oh
get
wait.
past that.
So this happened in front of a girl?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you punk ass.
no, man, she was there to help me, bro. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't like me, she would have just left me. Get out, bitch.
Yeah.
Get down yourself.
She just
That's
said it in her head, though, bro.
Yeah. No shit.
She
She's
never
like.
heard from her again.
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
bro.
She's like this.
Well, at least
fucking
you
guy.
felt bad enough for me to stay.
That's funny.
all that matters.
So it reads here that when kids are 7 or older, they know real from pretend. At this age, they may begin to fear things that could happen in real life. For example, some may fear being harmed by bad people because, we always tell our kids that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Some may feel afraid about natural disasters, stormy weather, because they watch it on TV, violence, or whatever other stuff. So we're looking at 7 years old is when people actually start to be scared. Now, think about, you got nieces and nephews?
Yeah.
All right, so you have any kids?
One.
Okay, so now think about when you say that you don't want your kids to do something, or anybody, any kids that no, don't go in there. The boogeyman's in there,
Well, they did that shit to us when we were
Right, yeah. But that's where the fear comes in, because now you're looking for that something in the dark or under the bed,
Right,
or in the
right,
closet. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it kind of, that's, again, where that 7-year-old, because it's 7-year-olds,
Yeah.
that's at that age, 5, 7, when they're running around to do whatever, when they're trying to, test their limits. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of anything. Well, I'm a little bit afraid of heights. But other than that,
Yeah.
you know, I can't really think of anything that's, oh, Jesus, I don't want to do that, you know? Like even like yesterday. So I get into this, I'm in the car accident and I wasn't scared to start driving again.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, whatever. I'm telling my wife now, just give me the damn car. I'll go out to do the podcast. I don't need you to come through kind of thing. You're not driving. I'm like, why are you scared? Like, I'm the one that just got into the accident.
Get into another accident?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into an accident. I was keeping that cruise control at 80. We'll be fine. Like, I'll be all right. And she's like, no, what the
so
fuck?
You just made that situation worse.
Yeah. Well, it was cool. It was good for her. I mean, I'm in pain, so it's better that she drove anyways. But, you know, it's just...
I think there's different types of fear, though. Like the type of fear, like I mentioned, like a cliff, like where you're like, there's an immediate danger, so you have fear from the immediate danger, and then there's fear where like you're projecting something,
right,
or where like you have an idea in your head and like you're worried about something. Like that's a different kind of fear than like, you know what I mean? And I think that's that type of fear.
Well, yeah, fear of what people might say about you.
Yeah,
you might
like
be fear that you fear of germs.
Right.
Yeah, like those type.
You know.
Yeah. But like the other type of fear that I mentioned before is like the danger. Like there's a danger present, so you have. So there's just like got to be like two different type of fears.
Yeah. Well, maybe more.
Or maybe maybe not two. Yeah, maybe more than two. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you afraid of? Or
he's going to say nothing. So
yeah.
Honestly, I'm not afraid of heights or anything like that. I don't really. It's nothing. I guess I learned like at an early age you can't control. Don't be afraid of what you can't control. And
right.
I think a lot of people fear what they can't control.
Oh, definitely.
Right. That's absolutely true.
And that's where you get your anxiety. And that's why you sleepless nights, all that.
Staring in the dark.
Yeah.
Just like your mind goes in overdrive. You can only control what you can control.
Right.
So to me, like, you know, there's nothing really to fear. I feel like there's different types of fear, like Tom said.
Yeah.
It's almost like fear to me is like a phobia. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know, heights, spiders,
insects, right?
Yeah, snakes, sharks, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, it's just an evolutionary thing to me. Like, it's not so much fear like of the cliff. That's like you saying, "I don't want to fall." Like, you know, the story
right.
is
Okay.
high.
Right. Got you.
It's more of like a cautious thing to me.
Right.
The brain knows when to, in its own way, to alert you. Where you say, "Okay, wait a minute." Getting too close to that might be dangerous.
Yeah.
What about those people? When you hear about those people who want to take pictures, they pull over and they do it, and they get too close to the edge and they wind up freaking perishing. Man, it's like,
it's crazy.
Was the picture really that important?
I've never heard of that though, bro.
Yeah, California stuff. But people they'll pull over the side, or like different places. Absolutely.
Or like people would like let's take a selfie next to a grizzly bear.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
grizzly bear
those.
attacks
Yeah,
It's
them
only
and
a
like-
tiger.
Yeah, like you stupid motherfucker. Like
There's a place in Brazil or something, or Portugal somewhere. There's like it's famous for that. People take selfies, and because the way the cliff is set up, there's like a ledge, and you can lean over a little bit, and it looks, if you take the picture the right angle, it looks like you're
Not
hanging
on
off the
anything.
side.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
And
That's
and
nuts.
people fall off of it all the time. Like, what are you doing?
crazy. Right.
Yeah. What are you doing wrong? Because if it's made like that, like what the fuck, dude? That is insane.
I think
Not happening.
now that I'm thinking about, like, I'm going through my head as you guys started. I'm not afraid of heights, but have you ever been, when you go to the city, for example? I'm not sure, one of the new buildings, they have those glass all the way at the top.
Right. Yeah. It's like
They
a
have
glass
the
floor.
pathways so you can look down.
Yeah.
When
That's
I first
nuts.
step on it, like my body,
Yeah.
it trembles a little bit.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, it's like gone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because now you know.
You get used to it.
anticipation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially your first time.
Hell yeah.
Right,
It's always scary.
It's
in
like
the first
going on a
time.
roller coaster that you've never been on before, right?
Well, yeah, like you said, the first time is always scary.
Right. That's what they tell me. Yeah. When I went on King Dakar the first time,
Right.
by the way, I will never go on that roller coaster again. Once was enough. And I
Yeah,
remember
I'm
that
good.
for the
That was
rest
the
of my life.
experience.
I'm good.
The thing about
I
that-
thought this thing was going to shoot off the track because it goes totally vertical,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, that thing just shoots up so
The only-
fast.
The only
That's
thing
crazy.
The only thing I don't like about King Dakar is the fact that it's a 10-second ride
Right.
for 2 hour wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like you.
I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah, no. Listen, I love roller coasters, but I'm not gonna do that. Like there's a couple of roller coasters that I've seen in the world that I'm like,
Is that a fear?
A fear of it breaking, falling off.
Right, so you
know
do
what I
have a
mean?
fear.
Right, of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's part of the heights. So I can get on almost any roller coaster except that one.
Right.
Because while I'm looking at it,
'Cause
if you
it's
stand back
literally-
and you're looking at this roller coaster, it sways.
Yeah, it has
And it
to.
sways in the breeze.
Right.
No, I'd understand it if it was in the roller coaster was actually moving when the cars are on it. But this bitch is like just rocking.
But it's like built like a building. It has to.
I don't
Otherwise
care.
it'll snap.
See, I'm good. I don't need that shit because I don't sit on the other fucking roller
I get
coaster.
it. No, I hear you.
Like, you know what I'm
Listen,
saying? Like, that's where my head
And
is
I
at.
I get it. I totally get it, man.
I've actually been on that ride because sometimes it always doesn't go.
Right. And that's the other one. It's always
I've actually
breaking.
been on there.
Which one
when it goes
again?
back down?
You see? No.
the car. Can you
Oh,
go?
it
Yeah.
does. I didn't know
It
that.
doesn't break, but sometimes it doesn't get enough momentum to come over the curb.
Yeah.
So like I got up to the curb, like I was in the front, and we got up to the curve,
Right.
and we're not quite there yet, and you just feel it.
Going back.
That must
Yeah,
be
you
even
see.
worse going back.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I would
Yeah,
never
it
go
was
on the
great.
ride. If that happened to me, that would be the last time I fucking went.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah,
love
see,
it.
so now people that don't know what King the Car is, King the Car is the roller coaster 0 to 120.
I don't know what it
120
was.
degrees.
Yeah, it's like 120 miles per hour. So 0 to
yeah.
120.
Oh, yeah. And
And,
it
then it
goes
shoots you up
like
about
almost
I think
90 degrees. It's almost 90
yeah,
degrees.
just about
It's
90
like,
degrees.
It's like
and,
85 degrees.
No,
or
Right.
something.
It's pretty much straight up.
yeah. And then
It goes
when
straight
it goes
down.
straight up and then it comes over the little apex.
Yeah.
And then it just twists a little bit.
It kind of
and
looks
brings
like
you
a
over the
more
top.
narrow thing of the St. Louis Gate.
Right, yeah.
Like
and
it's like
super
shaped
narrow.
like that.
And it's
yeah.
what? I think it's like 10 stories high.
No, more than that.
It is more?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
got to
like
be.
500
Yeah.
feet.
500 feet.
Yeah.
Fucking A, you serious?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's even worse than what I thought.
Tanya and I went to Pennsylvania. We went to Hershey Park, right? We thought we were getting on a roller coaster. Let's go on that roller coaster. So I don't remember the name. So we go, we get on, and then we see in the background, next to the one we're standing and waiting for, is the roller coaster that we should be waiting for. And we get on this roller coaster, and the track goes like this. You know how you go, and it goes out, and then it goes up.
Right?
No, it was
Oh,
right
straight
away.
up. Yeah.
And it wasn't slow.
Yeah.
It's like the Hulk.
It just
Yeah.
raced up
Yeah.
that
That's what it
thing,
sounds
man.
like.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the drop was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
see.
that was the one where the girl had the Cookie Monster shirt on.
Oh,
She was like,
yes.
Cookie Monster.
Yeah. That's funny. That's
I love
fucking
taking
Yeah.
those pictures. If I
Yeah.
know where they are,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love to
They're great.
do
Yeah.
some sort of pose.
I have a couple
Yeah.
on the wall of us.
That's funny. That is funny. All right, so now
So, yeah.
we've had our Halloween episode. Well, our Ghost Hunter ones you did. I'm sorry.
Right.
Not the Halloween. So were you scared?
No, and that's funny because I thought I would be. Now, nothing really happened that made me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I was there, I was more like looking and trying to find something or waiting to hear something, or like I was more involved and getting into it than being scared. You know? What
Do
I mean?
you think you would have been scared if something
if
would have
something,
happened?
if something depends on what had happened.
So
Yeah.
let's just say
I've
you would
had
have heard
shit
voices.
happen where I heard like my dogs. Let's give you an example. My dogs could be sitting upstairs, and then the dog just looks at the door and then looks at me
Mm-hmm.
like, "What are you doing?" He's telling me something's at the door.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You see what he's doing right now?" She's like, that's kind of creepy because dogs have a sixth sense, right?
Right.
So I'm like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
That's that kind of freaks you out kind of thing, but not to the point where you're freaked out, scared. You
Mm-hmm.
check and it's obviously he must hear something outside, but at first you're like, it's weird the way he's being right now, because he's not his normal behavior. So
Right.
kind of-
See, so like, but I know you're
I
not
don't
really
think
scared
so.
at all, like the horror movie stuff.
No,
and,
no, that's
somebody jumping out going
different.
boom.
I love horror.
I like the horror movies, but I'm not scared of them. I
Right.
just like them because it's just a fun genre to watch.
Yeah.
Like the
So
last
how about
one
you?
I saw
You
that
good?
I
You
thought,
like 'em, Chris?
The last one I thought that was a really good movie, but it didn't scare me. It just grossed me out.
Yeah.
It was Terrifier. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I gotta watch that too.
Yeah, we got to watch
Yeah.
that for sure.
So, question:
Sure.
Are there different levels of fear? Because we're all saying all these things.
Yeah, there's probably different
Right.
levels. Definitely.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to describe something that has such a vast.
Right. So
Yeah.
all right. So
If you
boom.
go by the dictionary definition, it's kind of like
Well, it has to be because see, I'm scared of heights,
right.
but I'll get on roller coasters. I won't go skydiving.
But you're in a roller coaster. You're confined. Like when you strap on,
Right, you're
Right.
You're
you put on
locked
your
in.
seatbelt. You put on your
Yeah, I
harness,
feel like I'm.
you're
But
there,
I
you're
feel
not
like
going
if,
anywhere.
but see, I feel like if it's gonna fly off, I have some kind of control because I'm in that harness.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
And I'm holding. Oh yeah, I know
You're
that.
taking everybody with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not
Exactly. And it's all
everybody's
good.
coming
Yeah.
with
At least we're all going together. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
We
You'll
are
have company.
not
You'll have
alone.
company.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it'll be like Beetlejuice. The kids on the bus. You know,
Everybody
when they-
there.
They're making the second one.
So
Yeah,
I
I
would
know.
never, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would never go skydiving either. And
Yeah.
it's not fear because I used to want to go.
I want to go, but I don't have.
But I
don't
had
have
a
enough
friend that went
to do it.
and he was going like crazy. And then he found out like someone died. That someone, you know, they fell out and the parachute didn't open.
Yeah.
And they found out that like the emergency chute didn't open. Also
Right. You
because
see.
the
They didn't pack it right.
Because the owners were fucking cheap and they were scamming the fucking place.
So he went to the wrong place.
So no, because the owners you have to a master skydiver has to pack emergency chutes. You can't have anyone else do it. So they have to pay the master.
Shouldn't
skydiver
they also
to
pack the normal chute as well? I mean, I would
No,
be more
well-
comfortable if they did both.
I'm just saying.
But the master skydiver has to pack the emergency chutes.
Right.
You know, you can have a regular skydiving license, I guess, to pack a chute or whatever. I think that's part of your. I don't know. But
Right.
anyway, but they have to pay him to do it. So they were being cheap and changing the 8s to or 3s to 8s or 1s to 4s.
What's wrong with people, man?
And the reason why you're supposed to pack them every they're supposed to be packed they're supposed to be like opened up and fluffed out like every like
right.
month or
So
two
they
or
need
three.
to. They got to
So
like
they
almost
can
air
open
them out.
fast.
Right,
So
yeah.
they open fast. Otherwise, they open and it stays like sandwiched together.
Right,
It doesn't
'cause it's
open
too
in time.
long.
The emergency chutes have to open fast because they open at whatever 1,000 feet.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
They got to open fast.
Right.
So they that didn't happen because they were fucking scamming the place.
Wow.
And it was the fucking skydiver they had to pay to pack the emergency chutes too. The irony.
Stop it. You see.
So like I was like, you know what? I don't want to go skydiving.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
anymore.
watch.
I'm done.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
shit like that can happen. That shit can happen. I'm like, you know what?
yeah.
Not afraid. It's just I don't want to take my chance.
Yeah, but that's the
You know
fucking
what I
reason
mean?
why I don't want to
Yeah.
go skydiving because I'm paying
I'm not
somebody to
scared.
fucking
Like,
fold
I
this
wouldn't be
shit.
scared to jump out of the plane.
not-
I would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I just
It's not the action that scares you; it's the stupid people behind.
Right,
it.
exactly.
Because you have no
Will
control
my
over
chute
that.
open?
exactly.
Yeah, no, sorry, man. I'm paying you to make sure my shit is right when I jump out this plane, and you're not gonna, you're just scamming people for this shit. Like, yeah, no, that's what my fear is, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to say it's probably like the joke of it. I'm not so much scared of heights. Is that if I force the sudden stop, that's gonna fuck me up.
I don't think
You know what I mean?
Even though, as much as we know that we're
Probably
not
be
going to
dead
feel
before you
it,
hit the ground.
Right.
Yeah,
That
well,
makes you feel
because
right.
I'm gonna be.
or it would be
Your
so
heart will
fast.
explode.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
for real.
That's what they always say too, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it that myth with the dream? Like, did you ever have the dream that you're falling? They said,
Yes.
yeah, but if you ever hit the bottom, you're going to
Yeah,
die.
I've hit the bottom. It's all good.
No,
I
you
don't
didn't,
know.
bro. Really?
That's the urban legend.
Yeah, but remember that was like that other thing. with-
yourself die in a dream, then you're dying. It's not
Yeah,
the
it's
Matrix.
not exactly what I'm gonna say.
Right,
It's not the fucking Matrix, bro.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Mind can't survive or whatever he says. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
I
Body
know.
can't survive without the mind.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
you die
That's
in
right.
the Matrix. Do you die in real life?
By the
Yeah.
way, for your 90s show,
Whoa.
you forgot Daria, bro.
Daria.
Oh,
dude.
forgot Daria.
Fucking
I was sitting in the
Daria,
car. I told him,
yes.
like, I listened to your podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the car. I'm like,
Fucking
yeah,
Daria.
these fucking jackasses forget this. This guy's talking
There's
about
so
the
many.
No, but
Well,
see,
this
here's
is
the
why
thing.
we- this
No,
is
no,
why
no,
we
no.
have them on.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
I'll
sure
get to
I
that
missed
one.
way more
No,
than
but you
just
gotta remember,
that.
it's
I
it's
just-
gonna be in parts.
I just rewatched it.
Yeah, we just do
Yeah.
a
To
part
be
two.
honest, that's why.
Yeah, no, it's
Is
gonna
that
be.
why?
I just rewatched
That was the only
it.
reason why then.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Daria.
no, that's gonna be the part two.
Yeah.
The part two will have
Well,
somebody else on. We're not gonna have you
eventually
back because you're talking shit, but whatever.
Oh, damn.
You gotta hear it, bro.
Damn.
You gotta hear it.
No, but yeah,
truth.
it said so the fear is. I said, and then you said different levels of fear.
Yeah,
You know, all the things that. So we just kind of stayed on heights, but like, are you scared walking into the forest? You know,
By myself at night?
At night, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't see.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You can't see if.
No.
Because I've actually.
What, honey? Where are you? I'll come in the morning.
One
That's
time
a
when I
guy.
was younger,
That's a
I
guy.
tried walking in the park at nighttime.
Yeah.
And like, you can't. You go
It's
into certain area where there's
pitch dark.
trees.
Yeah.
You can't see your hand in front of your fucking
Right.
face. It's
Yeah.
fucking dark.
Yo, that's
So
hilarious.
yeah.
You ever see that video where the police go into a cemetery? Did you ever see this video? It's like on the ghost shows and all that.
Yeah,
Okay.
And these police go into the cemetery because there was noise or something that they thought somebody was hanging out doing something in the cemetery, and this freaking noise came from the forest that was so scary. The police turned around and ran to their car and left. They were like, "I'm out."
Yeah. We're looking the
Yeah,
daytime.
they didn't even go for their gun; they just ran.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I scuba dive. I have a unique experience. When you go underwater at sunset, dusk,
Right.
you can't see anything
Yeah,
once you start going down.
Right.
Wow.
So
that's scary.
it doesn't really bother me.
Okay.
It's actually really cool. The first time I did it, I don't know if you guys fish or whatever, but there's a fish called tarpons.
Right.
They're about 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're like my height, both probably your guys' height, and maybe 150, 120 pounds.
so the
Wow.
big fish.
They're big. But they eat other fish. They can't eat you.
Right. Right.
So the
Yeah,
first
they're
time,
not big enough. Yeah,
right. So the first time I went night diving, the instructor's like, listen, the fish are attracted to your flashlight. You can't see anything.
right.
Like you go in and literally you cannot see anything until you turn on your light.
Right.
And the way it was,
but it's kind of like flies, right? They
Wow.
just come to the light.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So the way it was is on the left hand side you had the reef. On the right hand side you had the ocean. They call it the blue.
Right.
And it really is like if you go out, that's what it is.
Right.
So she's going over everything, and then she's just like, so if you shine it towards your right, you're gonna see silver. Do not panic. Most likely it's not a shark. And she explained it's tarpons.
Okay.
So the first time I did it, and she was right, all there was a wall of silver. And it was at least 100, I don't know,
Wow,
but
that's
I would say
crazy.
at least hundreds of fish, and they're following us.
Right.
And they just go where the light goes.
Wow.
And
That's
since
crazy.
they're your size, they're not afraid of you. They bump into you. They
They don't
like
give
you're
a
not
shit.
even there. Yeah,
Right.
fuck
Right.
you. Like you're in my way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right, you're in
she's
my
just like-
you're in my
right.
house.
And she's just like, please don't shine the lights on the fish because they're sleeping. You wake them up, they get confused, or you get
Right.
them.
Right.
But you know, people are assholes, so they
Right,
did
of
it
course.
anyway.
Yeah.
Always
They
have
shine the
one.
light on the fish, and just to see the other fish eat it.
Wow.
Wow.
And they're used to it because people dive there. But that's what I would equate to going into the forest.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would can imagine that.
And then-
Probably, but even worse because now you have a breathing apparatus that
And
you
there's
need
nothing
to
around
survive.
it.
Yeah.
It's 360. At least you know where the ground is when you're
Yeah,
standing on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
You know where the
don't
sky
have
is because you know you can look up.
Right.
But- and
No.
it's almost like being in space.
Wow.
It's the
Oh, yeah.
equivalent
That's
of-
what they
of
equate
I
it
would
to.
think.
Holy
I've been
shit.
scuba diving before, but I never went past my. I went. This is like fucking 25 years ago. I took a scuba class in college, my freshman year of college, and then I got my scuba certification at the quarry in Allentown.
Mhm.
Or is it Bethlehem? It's either Allentown or Bethlehem. And then I never went. And I never went again because my buddy, like he was taking martial arts. And he's like, take me down. And I roundhouse kicked him to the fucking ribs and he got a fucking collapsed lung.
No way, bro.
But he's like, take me down. And we were like practicing stuff and I like roundhouse kicked him to the,
Nice.
but because he's like, no, you were supposed to try to push me over. I
Yeah,
was
like,
like, well,
no,
say
that's not how
fucking
it
push me
works.
over. Take me down.
Dumbass.
He said.
That's not how
Yeah.
it
So
I
were you
felt so
scared?
bad.
Was there fear running through your body because you kicked this dude
not-
and broke his rib?
Well, oh yeah. Well, I just felt bad.
Yeah, I don't think you fear about anything about that. I mean,
I'd be afraid I killed that
Dumbass.
motherfucker.
Oh, I know. I didn't because
killed him.
he didn't even know. He just goes like, ah. And then the next day he's like, I'm having trouble breathing out of my one side. It hurts. And it's like, oh fuck, you gotta go to the hospital, man.
Oh my
Wow.
god, dude,
Broken ribs
Yeah.
are no joke.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've had
see.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
not
hurt.
fun.
They hurt.
that's insane,
sure.
insane, fucking insane.
Well, no, I think it was after we went scuba diving because we were practicing in the pool, and I did that, and then we went scuba diving the next day, and that's when his lung was.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
right.
got it,
Okay.
Whatever
got it.
happened fucked him up from getting the compressed air in his fucking
Right.
Got
right.
it.
or whatever.
I will say now that I'm thinking about it, I'm afraid of ticks.
Oh, I don't blame you for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to get. I would not want Lyme
refuse
disease.
to go hiking or anything off the beaten path,
Right.
Because I do not want a tick on me.
Yeah,
My ankles, my knees, they're bad enough already. I don't need Lyme disease to make it worse.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we're talking about different fears. So for me, the one fear I have, and it's a fear that I never thought I'd have in a million years,
What's
is
that?
like fear of harm happening to my son.
Okay,
Like,
children,
that is,
right.
absolutely.
Something that like I
Fear of
never, I didn't think I
losing
was
a
gonna
child
be,
or anything like that.
Right.
But like it's bad. Like I might need to talk to someone about this. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
that, it's
if
that
you
bad.
need therapy, you should call somebody.
Because
Yeah.
because like he started camp in the beginning of the summer, and like they go to the pool, and I'm driving past because the pool's next to not far from our house. I have to pass that to get home. I'm driving past the pool. Like first thing that goes to my mind is what's V rounds?
Dude, Wait a minute.
And
Wait
like
a
I
minute.
picture him drowning. Like that's fucked up. Like it's a problem.
He has the
Like
kid
Final
Yeah.
Destination.
in swimming
Yeah,
class.
yeah. It's like
For the
Final
last
Destination,
how many
yeah.
years?
Bro.
So
Yeah.
but
Isn't
this is
it
what
ironic?
he's thinking
Yeah.
when he's driving by there. When he knows
Yeah.
the kid knows how to swim.
Dude.
Just like
Now I get it. Accidents happen, but you can't do that to yourself, bro.
Word.
You drive yourself crazy. Yeah,
oh,
it's-
I do it all the time.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
it's like Final
That's-
Destination. Like you said,
Right.
Final
Yeah, right.
Destination.
It's just
like
crazy.
I have that in my head. Like he had to bounce house for his birthday, and I'm like, what happens if he lands and it breaks his neck or some shit? You know, like I'm just. It's really
Fucking
fucked
Tom,
up.
bro.
It's
Only
like-
you, man.
It's like you ever met like someone who's fearful of them getting hurt? Like
Yeah,
it's,
no,
but it's,
I get it.
It's that, but towards my like,
Yeah. I'm just laughing because you have him
Yeah.
in swimming classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then he still thinks that, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
Fucked up.
hello.
Yeah.
Now what? I have to say something. Now here's something that's ridiculous with
Yeah.
me. Like I don't like leaving candles burning or any of the things that melt or lights
That's
in
not
a
ridiculous,
outlet.
But yeah, I don't think
That's
that's,
not-
for
that's not
that's
ridiculous.
yeah, because you know that it could. You have dogs if they
And I
buck the
have
table.
animals, and I don't want. Yeah, right. And I take them out, I make sure they're off, and I do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No,
so-
that's normal. That's
Yeah,
normal.
that's
Yeah.
regular
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah, I don't see
alright.
that as a funky fear. That's a caution.
right.
You know what I mean? Just make sure your house don't burn the fuck down.
Right.
God bless it. You know
Yeah,
what I
there's a difference between fear and caution.
mean? Right.
Yeah.
Being
Right,
cautious
right,
and being
right.
fearful are two different things.
Right.
Sure.
I feel like
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like fear, for the most part, that people really think about or define it in their head anyway,
hmm
is more like Tom's fear for his son.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like people confuse being cautious and being fearful.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
You
true.
know,
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Right.
And that's a projected fear on what
Right.
he's doing.
Right,
Like,
that's
he's already
definitely a projected
manifesting
fear.
That's,
something.
Hell,
that's
yeah.
there's a
That
third
didn't
one.
happen.
There's a third type. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean,
No
It's
shit.
like
just looked
watching
up-
an episode of Seinfeld, bro.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just looked up something right now, so hang on a second. Yeah, they say fear of abandonment,
Okay.
loss of identity, loss of meaning, loss of purpose, and well, it doesn't say fear of death, including the fear of sickness and pain. So, do you fear dying? Because
I don't think I
Honestly,
fear dying.
I fear. I don't.
How
I'm
you
not
die?
right.
Yeah.
How am I going to die?
Mm-hmm.
That's the because you don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know how you're going to die. You can die of some
So
disease,
for me-
an accident.
Yeah.
It could be anything. But the thing is, this you can't be thinking about that shit,
Right.
Because it's going to be what it is. You have, like Chris was saying earlier, you only have control of what you have control over,
Right.
and to do that to yourself is just going to make you a mess.
Can't
Yeah.
enjoy
You can't.
life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That way you
Exactly.
can't enjoy life.
You know what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, for me, it's not fear of death. It's fear of having unfinished business. Like, you know, the whole ghost thing. Ghost is like I'm always afraid.
You're going to
I
come
like-
back, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fucking coming back. You know what I mean? Like fear of like, or like, you know, I you know, like if I were to die now, like the fear of my son not having a father, or,
Right.
or like those kind of things. You know what I mean?
For the people
Or-
left behind.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And like, but like also, I'm not afraid to die, but the idea of deaths is terrifying to me because I'm an atheist. I said we're not talking about religion, but I'm just saying.
Right.
'cause
No,
I'm-
that's fine. Yeah,
it's a
I get
non-religion
it.
technically. So anyway,
But
but
I have to edit this out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
yeah. So like the idea for me of death is like what it's like before you're born. I always tell people that. Like,
Right.
remember what it's like before you're born? That's what's like. I believe what it's like when you're dead. Like, so that
Well,
just like
okay.
of not having a conscience anymore scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Because it's the unknown. You don't know
Yeah,
what's going to
exactly.
happen after
That-
this. You know?
that-
Is there another place?
So that
Are you gonna
frightens
go
me,
somewhere?
but to actually die doesn't scare me. It's a weird thing.
Right.
So I'm like afraid of, or it's not. It's like just frightening. I'm not afraid
Because
of it. It's just
yeah,
the idea is
it's
like,
it's unknown
like
because you don't know. Like,
yeah,
what's it
it's
going to be like?
uncomfortable,
yeah.
You won't know what it's like.
you know because
Exactly.
Right. It's not the action itself; it's the effects.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Right.
I'm not afraid of dying. Like, you know, because I mean, think of every movie, every story, every whatever you've watched and or seen. I always associate myself with what was going on in the show. So, you know, like you say, we talk about the movie Ghost. So then
Okay.
for me, I'm gonna be that ghost that's gonna, you know, kind of be lingering around.
No,
Right.
bro.
You know, I make the
don't
other.
be coming to visit me.
No, you're not that cute, bro. Listen, you know, it's just one of them things. But you know, like I always figured out, like they, you know,
I thought it sounded funny.
yeah. Oh, look,
I thought fucking you'd be the best ghost. The best ghost is like just to like show up when people are in their most embarrassed moments, like show up when
Yeah.
they're taking a shit, show up
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they're
yeah.
jerking
Or
off.
hell
It's like,
yeah.
hey.
Sex, right?
Yeah. No, wait, you're jerking off over the toilet in the bathroom, and then my face just pops up to the wall. Yeah, you know. yeah, that's scary right there.
Wow. Now we're gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, no. I always just feel like, I make the joke that they won't let me into the pearly gates right off the bat because of the asshole that I've been. So I got to stay down here for a little bit longer, and do my penance.
My friend Frank and I
Shit like
have
that.
we have a thing that we always say we've always said it. He said, "Bro, we're not going to go to hell. We're not going to go to heaven. We're going to be the angels with the little tiny wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you just make it off the floor, and we're going to have the buckets and the rags. So we're going to be cleaning the pearly gates from the outside. We can only look in.
Yeah.
You can't come in. You can look in, but you're going to be cleaning the gates and all the fence.
Yeah, the whole
It
fence.
just goes infinity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is great, man. That is so. But yeah, that's wild. And what was the other one you said? The other kind of fear?
Fear of identity.
Identity.
Do you have that fear at all? I don't really think about that. Fear of identity, loss of meaning,
Well,
loss of purpose.
Well, hold on. So let's do the identity. So is it that you just forget who you are?
No, I think more now, especially with today. Well, I guess there could be that. I was thinking more of the technical part of it. You know what I mean? With your credit cards and everything.
Oh, no.
going on.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about like, you, like, I know I'm here to make your day better. You know what I mean? So that then now, if that's the fear, that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that person anymore. Like, you yelled at me the day before yesterday. You're like, why do you come in here so fucking happy in the morning? Like, I didn't even have my coffee yet and you're just fucking excited. I'm like, oh, because if I make your day better, like just telling a funny or being in that better mood, that then you're going to have a good day, and that's to pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is for me in my head. So, that that's why I'm asking if it's about your identity. If you're feeling like
guess some people
that's
do.
who I am.
Right? Some people do have a fear of who they are, or what they're going to be, or what's going to happen with their life. And, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier. When they project too much, you overthink it, and you allow your thoughts to take over you, and you're not in control anymore.
Right.
That's a bad situation, man.
Yeah.
That's a bad situation.
Yeah. Do you worry about stuff like that?
No.
See, what do you worry? Or like you said, you say you don't have any fear. So, anything that you're aware of.
You can't really, for me, like, it's worrying just makes things worse. Because like I said earlier, you can only control what you can control.
Right.
And anything else, it's just added baggage, extra space that you don't really need. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Like, and I'm just a little weird like that because I think like logically about most things, and I could take emotion out of it when needed, because a lot of that is an emotional thing.
Right.
Because logically, like Tom, logically, my son knows how to swim.
Yeah.
Emotionally, you're like,
Yeah.
this is,
But what if?
Right.
What if?
And to me, like, I kind of learned how to separate the two. Like, quick example. My mother, she has dementia, right? So, I was down in South Carolina, dealing with some doctor appointments and all that. The people are like, well, how do you feel? Like, this life.
Right.
What am I going to do about it?
Right.
I can't be upset about it. I
just got to be there for
it is
her.
what it is.
That's it.
Right.
Like, I have to do what I have to do.
Right.
Yep.
And that's it. And that's how I kind of look at everything. Like, it's just more of like, you can only play the hands you're dealt.
Right.
So you get this, you deal with it, you move on, and that's it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And I think too, going back to identity, I think a lot of it is, let's just say you're taking care of your mom, or your wife, or whoever.
Right.
You become her caretaker. You do that for so long. That's your purpose.
Right.
Once
Right.
something happens.
Right.
Once something happens, you lose your purpose.
And
That's
then
your
you lose
identity.
yourself. Right.
And that's your identity.
Right.
And then you lose yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes I think that, especially people who are cognizant of what's going on, like, if you're a paraplegic or something, right? And you're close enough to the situation, my husband's taking care of me. My wife's taking care of me.
Right. My children are taking care of me.
Right.
Something. Right.
Then that's what your biggest fear is that they're okay, because now that I'm not there and they devoted so much of their time and energy,
Yep.
what's going to happen to them now
Right.
that they don't have anything to fill that void?
Yeah.
Right.
See, so that's almost full circle. Look at this guy here. That didn't take him nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes.
That makes sense
absolutely.
because then, I get it. Because me as a parent, my kids are already old. And the youngest one is going to be 19 in another month. So, and the oldest is 27. So that then for me, I think my only fear for them was just making sure that knowing that they're going to be okay, for whatever happens,
Yeah, makes sense.
And so then I said, I get what you're saying, but I don't even find it as a fear. I don't know. I can't say it's a fear.
Well, I can tell you a worry.
Yeah,
maybe.
worry.
Yeah,
Worry.
I
well,
can-
yeah.
well, I can tell
I
you.
guess that's different than fear, right?
It's more
Right.
like that
Well,
little
maybe a
nagging
combination.
feeling, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a worry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say that I did fear when it came to my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to not think about it because I knew I had no control over it.
Right.
So I had to let it go
Right.
in order for me not to be able because.
Right.
But I always was afraid
Mhm.
of getting that phone call.
Right,
Because I
definitely.
didn't know if I was going to have to go, God forbid, you got that call, something happened to her,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Right,
because
right.
of the situation she was in.
Right.
But fortunately,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I had to detach myself
Mm-hmm.
because there was no way I can control what she was doing. And that would have just made my life more miserable. And,
Right. Yeah.
what would have that would have accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I went that avenue because it worked out.
Right. Well, I tell you, bro.
Luckily, it
'cause-
worked out the right way.
Yeah.
I-
You've given me, and I guess it just sounds different.
Right.
I'm not saying you gave me something like super new, but you just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I can understand why,
Yeah.
How you see it like that. That does make sense.
Right.
And and like we said before, it's an emotion. So then it's the idea of how you deal with that emotion. How do you control it? Am I really scared, or is it anxiety? Like just
Right.
because of I'm just nervous about what I got to do right now. I've ran into burning buildings. I've seen people who crash their cars, and I've gone over to help them out.
Right.
Didn't even think nothing of it. It's like whatever. And growing up in Brooklyn in the city, gunshots all day. Never panicked. I can hear a gunshot. I was like, was that close or far? Like, should I really look now to see, what that was? But that was it. Like I don't have any fear. I like any fear like that. More, I guess,
Right.
almost anxious for something that might be happening or that I know is going to happen, but not anything that's going to freeze me in my tracks.
I think it sounds like you just have fear for not anything that has to do with you,
Right.
or the people that you love.
Right.
Which is a
Yeah.
normal thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that works.
It's more,
yeah.
it's more like whatever happens to me, but like
Mm-hmm.
my wife, my daughters,
Right.
my kids.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
and that's kind of how I feel the same way too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think about it.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, I don't really like
Yeah,
that
like,
either.
I don't think about it, but if someone asks me, like, yeah, whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
it kind of is what it is. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the older I get too, sometimes what Chris is saying makes a lot more sense too.
Right.
Because you start to think of things differently than you did when you were 20 years back.
Yeah.
I mean, your mindset
Yeah.
is different because
Sure.
now you're older, you're more experienced, and you realize that some of the things you worried about were a waste of time.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't believe I wasted my time even thinking or worrying about
Right.
this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you have fear of, you have that kind of nervousness or fear of a job interview or stuff like that, but that's really more
It's like anxious.
natural,
Yeah.
anxious
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even for you, Tom, like you're on TikTok and you're on Instagram and,
Right.
you're always talking, for your vegan stuff,
Yeah,
you're talking to other people and such. Is there a fear that somebody's just going to be like, fuck you, you
No.
fairy, you're not eating any
I
meat?
don't
gets
have
it
to
all the
fear it.
time.
It happens all
All
the
the
fucking
time,
time.
Absolutely. That's all that.
Yeah.
That's
It's funny because he shows me too. He's like, hey, look
I
at
don't
this
know.
asshole. Look at this asshole.
I don't have to fear it.
Right.
That's funny as
Oh,
fuck.
you get thrown into the fire right away.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
TikTok. They're fucking brutal on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can't fear that. You can't
Right.
because if you're
You,
gonna open
you don't have to worry about fearing it.
right. But I'm saying if you open yourself up to it, you got to realize it's going to
Right.
happen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, but then even
Part
how
of
with
the,
that, you're a Halloween fanatic, bro. So
Yeah.
like half the things that you use as props, as your decoration,
Yeah.
are things that you would or somebody would guess, quote unquote, be scared of.
Yeah.
That would just
Yeah.
that's the fear,
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that you even recognize whatever fears you have, like
Yeah.
for your son like that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Really is,
wild.
Yeah.
I will say, it's not a fear, but just because we're talking about fear and horror movies earlier, Insidious is the only horror movie that scared me as an adult.
really.
Yes.
Really? See, I find that as a reality though.
I love the movie. Like, don't
Right.
get me wrong, but like that's the only movie as an adult that like had me like intense.
It was
Yeah.
Evil Dead for me.
Really?
And
Evil Dead, man, blew
it
my
wasn't,
mind.
It to me, it was such a perfect movie. The soundtrack, like the way they made the soundtrack, like played into it. And then at the end, that stupid song from like the 30s, that Tulip song.
I will say the only type of horror movies that still kind of give me that creepy feeling are the found footage horror movies.
Right. But then that's
Those
the
are
same though.
Yeah,
But
those are crazy.
Those are always creepy.
But those are things like we were just saying before about like with death. So that then it's scary because Insidious
That is
movies
scary.
are, you know, it's like what pretty much
But
like
that's the
out
whole
of body
point of watching
experiences and
it, right?
stuff.
Well, to me, it was just the jump scares they got.
Yeah.
It
Oh, the
wasn't-
jump
it wasn't-
scares.
it
You
wasn't-
Like, yeah. You like,
Oh,
It wasn't
okay.
the message of the movie.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
it was how tense the music, and then like
Yeah,
when she's
the jump
talking,
The
the
anticipation of-
the first time you see the demon's face,
Right.
it looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah, right.
It's like right behind her. And
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
yeah, it's scared. It like
See,
made me
that's
jump.
why.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I like found footage for the other reason because I always remember being a kid watching horror movies and like you'd be like, "What's outside?" You know, it got
Right.
creepy like that. So like, you kind of feel that a little bit with found footage movies. Not so much anymore. I think when they first came around, like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Right.
When I was a kid, when I watched that, you know, I was like, "Is that real?"
Yeah.
You know what
I had a
mean? You know
forest
what I mean? Like, you
experience
get that,
up in Greenwood
like,
Lake.
You know, where you
So
just,
many jokes right now.
Check it out. My friend Chris had a house in Greenwood Lake.
Right,
And we
right.
would go camping whenever we went up there, we would go camping for the weekend, right? Serious, we get tents, hang out, whatever, party,
Can't do
do
it.
all that shit with us. And it was like more than usually it was like 5 of us or whatever. So
Right.
me and Frankie are standing there, and Chris is talking. He's looking up the hill and he's explaining what we're gonna do, how we're gonna get up there, and everything. And then Frankie and I hear this noise,
See.
not an animal. It was this weird. I can't even replicate it. It was just so weird. Me and Frankie looked at each other. Gone.
Are you see?
Up on we were on the stoop
You
of
could
his
have
house.
fucking found Bigfoot, bro.
Chris is standing
Jesus
there like this
Christmas.
all by himself. We're on the stoop hanging out. And Chris is like, and he's still talking, hanging out. He doesn't even know we ran up there. And then he turns around. He's like,
Where the
"What
fuck did
happened?"
everybody
We're
go?
like, you
It
didn't
was like
fucking
from the
hear that?
movies.
You didn't
Dude.
hear that?
Bro, you see.
You're a hell of a friend. Just like
Yeah,
No,
for
you're
real,
out,
right?
man.
You're
I'm
an
out.
asshole, bro.
Yo,
That's like
jeez.
straight out of the movies, though, where like someone's talking, they turn around. Oh,
Yeah,
where
everybody's
did they
gone
go?
and
Right,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah, no, that's fucking. You guys are hilarious. Fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How'd you just leave, man?
Yo,
Listen, see,
we both
then
looked at
I'd
each
be
other, we were
scared.
out.
See, like that would be, I'd be like, you know, I'm
Back
scared
up.
now.
I'm out.
You know, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I don't do the woods. I don't do that shit. Just, yeah, I don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it. And I don't know, guys. I guess I like you said, it's just a different kind of fear. It's how you look at it. It's how you
Everything's perspective.
exactly how you see it. How you
Right,
feel
right,
about
right.
any
Yeah,
one
of
thing
course.
that's gonna give you that quote unquote fear. You know, it's an emotion first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And I think if all of us, you know, at one point or another, just learn to control it, we'd be like you, bro, fucking Superman. You know, like those things don't bother me.
Listen, isn't fear in a sense a good thing too? Because if you allow to learn from it, you know what I mean. Whatever
Right.
the situation is in your life, at least
Yeah.
maybe not at that moment, at that time, but later on down the line, you'll realize, okay, no, I'm not going to do that again. And I made, like we were saying earlier, I wasted my time. So I guess at the same time, once you start to figure out what it is that you don't need to worry about or fear anymore.
Right.
But now there are certain things, like you say, that just happen that can, you know, you have no control over. It's just that fear that shit's going to happen. You know,
Right. Yeah.
It's going to freak you out. You know, someone jumps out on you, you're scared, right?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
you do
Boom.
that shit all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you know, you jump immediately. You know, it's funny. I did it to Tanya the other night. Oh, as a matter of fact, we'll talk about fear real silly before we get off. Talking about my wife. So my wife has a fear of, you know, the packages that open the croissants or the dough, and you have to pop them. It makes that popping noise. When
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
off the-
Oh, yeah.
She's petrified of it, of that noise.
Really?
And when she
Oh,
does
yeah.
it, she holds it. She goes, okay, 1, 2, oh. She does this whole thing. She
see,
freaks out,
bro.
and it's the funniest shit. So I told her I was going to talk about it tonight and put it on the
popping a
podcast.
Yeah,
It's
like popping the cork.
Almost like
Yeah.
popping
Yeah,
the
right.
cork.
Exactly. She doesn't like that either.
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, you know
that's
what's cool
great.
about champagne? You know, if you just move the cork up just a little bit after you take the wire off, it'll just eventually pop on its own.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Because
yeah.
that the wire is the thing that's keeping it on the champagne. That's
Right.
what's actually keeping
It's the
cork closed.
anticipation, though, of it ready to happen.
Suppose if you take the wire off, it'll actually eventually, if you leave the wire off and like leave the room, eventually it'll.
Yeah.
Well,
That
not
makes
leave, you don't
sense.
have to leave the
Yeah,
room,
it's
but you know what I
fun,
mean. Like
Yeah.
it'll be
No,
a while.
she knows it's going to happen.
Yeah.
She's already in panic. she's just waiting for it to happen. And
Well,
then
It's
she
like a roller
freaks.
coaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Right?
Well,
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
you know,
That's
that
You know
exactly
it's
right.
coming,
Yeah.
but you still, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So Tanya, if you're listening, just remember I didn't laugh.
Yes, you did.
I don't know what you're talking about. Improve it. There's no pictures here.
I laugh.
Don't worry. You're not the one who's going to have to pay. It's going to be
Yeah,
based. No
definitely. It's gonna be
worries.
hilarious. We'll go up there and just go boom and just
Yeah.
bob it in. It'll be
So-
funny as fuck. So that's our show for this evening, gentlemen. I appreciate you, Sir Chris, for coming through, hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So everybody have a good, safe week. And just be careful out there. So love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Holla.